I see a cute guy out in the wild, which is really rare, and I want to shoot my shot, I just pull one of these. And if the eye contact happens to hit, I look away even quicker. And if they cannot understand that I want them just by that 0.2 second glance, then that's on them, because I can't make it any more obvious than that.
Yes. You don't like when a girl approaches you first?
It just don't happen a lot.
It don't happen a lot.
It don't happen a lot.
If it is, it's not like overt, like obvious, really.
It's like
and if it is obvious, then it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, shorty ass something must be wrong with her. Type, you know what I'm saying?
It definitely raises it's a red flag a little bit. It's a red flag.
Why is it a red flag?
Because it's unusual. It's like, this bitch trying to set me up, or
okay.
is this just that much of a slut?
Is she
or
thirsty?
Is she like, she's like thirsty and shit? You know what I'm
questions
saying?
that need to be brought up.
I honestly feel offended because this man with bald hair and pure white facial hair asked me if I was single at my server job last night. Baby, I'm 21. I'm 21. I don't think I look older than 23, like 25 max. Are you out of your mind?
I have a private men's community, and there's something that they really, really want women to know, okay? And a lot of guys are saying, I can't even believe that this isn't common sense. Why do women have to be told? But I'm trying to let them know it's because a lot of women are in their heads and they overthink, okay? But they want you to know that the number one reason that they fall back after initially pursuing is because you're not letting them know that you're interested. They're not getting reciprocity. And this is what you have to understand, that you can stay in your feminine energy. You don't have to become masculine and climb into the driver's seat and take over, take the steering wheel out of his hands. They're not looking for you to take their place. What they're looking for you to do is stay in your feminine, stay in the passenger side, but they want you to let them know that you are interested. They're called choosing signals. There are things a woman can do to let the man know, baby, you are barking up the right tree. Once you do that, you will be shocked at the number of men who will consistently show up. Gone are the days where men are relentlessly pursuing women who are not giving them feedback. They want to know too that they're not wasting their time, okay? These are high valued men, and they want to make sure that their time and energy is not being wasted. Men, let me know in the comments if you think that this is true. Ladies, let me know what you think about this.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Why isn't it fair? Please tell us. What specific disadvantages do only minorities have that their counterparts do not?
Stop telling me to go meet someone in the wild when I go in the wild and someone will be staring at me the whole entire night and won't come say hi. How many more times is that going to happen? How many more times am I going to be in the bar, playing pool, at the coffee shop, on a walk, and I will be staring down another person who is staring me down, smiling across the table, whatever, and you don't come say hi? Oh my gosh. What am I meant to do, you guys? Am I gonna have, we always have to make the first move or something? Because, oh my gosh.
Can we just talk about how funny it is that America's like, we need to ban TikTok because Americans are giving their data to China. And Americans are like, yeah, you know what, you, let me go give it directly to them on Red Note, voluntarily.
55% of men haven't approached a woman in the last year, yet 75% of women wish they were approached more. This disconnect is your opportunity. A woman could have 1,000 matches in her phone, her Instagram DMs could be flooded, but when you stop her in the middle of the day and you're face to face with her, you'll have her full attention. That alone makes in-person more powerful than any other method, because even if you match and message a woman on an app, you're still being multitasked like everything else going on her phone. She's swiping and messaging other guys at the same exact time. If just one guy beats you to the punch with the right message, your chances with her are gone for good. And our internal client data shows that if a man has a 10 out of 10 dating profile and 10 out of 10 in-person skills, he'll more often meet and date more attractive, higher quality women in person, precisely because he's skipping the competition and making a stronger, more impactful first impression. If you want to learn how to get 1 to 3 dates per week with girlfriend quality women, comment the word flirt below and I'll send you my free video showing you exactly how.
Hey guys, I'm just here to slide in another example of a double standard that if a man did this and posted it on social media, he would be banned and he would be found out who he is and he would be fired from his job. He would lose everything in his life.
Why do men in bars just stand there with their drinks and stare at us instead of just coming over?
Because they're scared. They're worried they're gonna get rejected. Because the average man has never even put himself out there enough to overcome his fear of rejection. The problem that men have is they think that they have to go and talk to this 9 out of 10, somebody they're truly excited to be with. Well, eventually you want to be able to do that, but you just can't do that right now because your approach anxiety is too high. Have you watched Lord of the Rings?
No.
Really? All right, anyway, there's a little creature, rather ugly looking, called Gollum, okay? Used to be a hobbit. The idea is, imagine if there was a man or a woman, a being that's like a 1 out of 10, somebody you're truly not attracted to. Most men would be able to talk to somebody like that because there's no fear. So all you have to do as a man is talk to 10 1s, 10 2s, 10 3s, 10 4s, 10 5s, all the way up. It's called progressive desensitization. Exactly what we do in the gym. Progressive overload, progressive desensitization. Works every time. If you want me to help you personally find the right girlfriend or wife, click the link in my bio and apply for a free initial consultation.
Stop dating ugly women. Like, I don't want to sound rude, but ugly women are always the ones with the most audacity, right? Like, you give them a chance and then suddenly they just think that they rule the universe, that they can just act like pieces of shit and cheat on you and choose you as like nothing but an option. So just stop giving ugly women a chance. It's obvious. Hello.
Why don't men chase anymore after you say no? This is the reason. No is a boundary, not a challenge. After hearing it enough, some men stop trying, not to punish you, but to avoid feeling rejected. So they go silent. They stop initiating. They actually pull back. That distance that you feel, it's actually emotional detachment. The reason being, they feel unsafe, unwanted, and no connection. This is not about sex. It's about connection in any given relationship. Healthy couples talk about it. They address the issue. They don't avoid what is happening. And with this, it makes the relationship to flow. Comment help in the comment section if this feels familiar. Follow Therapy with Amy for more real talk.
The streets are talking, bro. Streets are talking. And I don't necessarily mean like the literal streets, but I mean everywhere. You look in the comments, you look in group chats, you're looking at podcasts, you're looking at the barbershop, just quite literally anywhere that men congregate, you're having these conversations. And when you have a lot of people that are saying the same thing, you got to stop and ask, what's really going on? What's happening? When you have a lot of men that you try to say, oh, these are just bitter dudes. No, you have a good amount of men saying, wait a minute, modern women are acting crazy. You noticing that too? Yeah, man, no, we're not gonna be doing that. We're not gonna be doing that. And then you get mad because a man ain't with it. That's your fault. That's your problem.
America hates women. I always forgot how much they hate women until they show us that they hate women.
So much hyperbole and so little time. But when I hear statements like this, I actually have to pause and remind myself that individuals that make statements like these are actually demonstrating that they have no concept of what hate actually is or what it looks like, nor have they ever actually been to a place or a country that actually does dislike women and oppresses them. And statements like this are just done for attention.
Let me clarify what I meant why modern men are not dating anymore. Besides the economic struggle a lot of us face, modern dating has turned into a free-for-all, at least in the social media space, because we cannot negate that media and social media doesn't have effect on our psyche and how we see day-to-day life. When I said back in the day people didn't date, what I mean is prior to 1960, the revolution, people did not date around the way we date now. They courted with the intent of marriage. Now, was every single person following that? No. But the way we date now, how it's a free-for-all, how people do sleep together during the dating phase, that was not socially acceptable. That was just not normal. Were people doing it? Yes, but it was not normal. And if a woman happened to get pregnant, they would get married, because socially it was not okay for people to have premarital, have kids out of wedlock, and that be a-okay for everybody. That just was not a thing.
She said all that and she ain't said a thing. Men aren't dating anymore because the women aren't worth dating. There you go.
Girls think that they want to date a high value man until he starts calling you out for not taking responsibility, before he starts holding you accountable, before he has higher standards for you than you have for yourself. We're talking about, oh, date a high value man. And so this is what you do to have to attract a high value man. But I've never heard anyone talk about like actually dating a high value man takes a totally different kind of woman. It is not for the weak. I have other friends who are dating like very loving, very successful, perfectionist, ambitious men, and it is not for the weak.
This is my personal opinion. For guys that don't want to chase, I'm like, here's the thing. This is my personal opinion. Masculine energy, we all have a mix of both, I believe, but masculine energy is about action, movement, pursuit, decision making. You know, it's like they're the ones that are supposed to like pursue, you know? And feminine energy is like deciding, choosing, like still receiving or rejecting, you know, like sitting back and just observing, but also like nurturing, transforming, you know, all that stuff. But it's deciding. Okay, and so I'm like, all right, guys, if you don't want to be the pursuer, someone else will. And that's exactly what happened to me. These loser guys. And I'm like, yeah, the right guy who wants me, who is for me, is going to pursue me. And he hunted me down, all right? And he is the love of my life. And I'm so happy. All right, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Let me know if you agree or disagree. But seriously, like, yeah, a guy that won't chase, I'm like, you're looking for a mom. That's my opinion. And I'm not going to be your mom.
I got ghosted by a girl because I said I didn't like the idea of a stay-at-home wife. Not even a stay-at-home mom. If I have enough money to do that, I'll do that, right? But you mean to tell me that I'm wrong for wanting my future partner to achieve things and not just have their whole life boil down to staying at home and being taken care of by a man?
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong at all. That's your preference and that's okay. What I don't understand is why are most of the women in his comment section trying to insult him? Y'all have been saying the same thing he just said. Y'all say, I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife. I want to be independent. And he's agreeing with y'all. He's saying, I prefer a wife who goes out and do something for herself. He even said, if I had the money, I would make her a stay-at-home mom. Do you even know why you're trying to insult him? Because y'all can't be this stupid to not realize that he's literally saying the same thing y'all have been saying. Stupid women.
Hey, let's talk. I have been really tired lately. Super tired, and Deep down, I knew why, but I haven't wanted to admit it to myself. But here's me admitting it. I'm depressed again, and literally on the verge of tears as we speak. I am so tired of always being so strong and trying to be positive and trying to help everyone else, because I don't get it in return. I don't. Like, whenever I see someone going through something, I try to go out of my way, above and beyond, to make them feel heard and loved and cared for, and I don't get that. And like, I'm so tired of having the heart that I have, because when I love someone, I truly love them with everything I have, and having the heart that I do does nothing but get me hurt. And I'm just tired. I'm real tired. I want someone to do for me as I do for them, and I don't know, but like I said before, I'll always show the good and the bad, and here's the bad. So yeah.
And you know, when Future says she belongs to the streets, you know, it might sound funny. It might sound funny, but he's being dead serious. And when you hear men use it, and when somebody says it, you know, like I said, it sounds funny, but they're not just being funny. It's a warning. Men are telling other men, hey, watch out for these women. Watch out for this one right here. She playing games. She doing stuff that she's not supposed to be doing, right? And instead of asking why men are saying that, instead of looking at what behavior you're exhibiting that has earned that title, you're sitting up here laughing it off, ignoring it. But it's not going to be funny when you try to come around and say, hey man, can you take me on a date? No. Why not? I'm dressed like this. I look like this. Yada, yada, yada. She belongs to the streets.
I'm gonna say it. I can't cook is not a personality trait, babe. It's an excuse. As women, we learn how to contour our makeup perfectly, how to put together the best charcuterie board for girls' nights. But we can't learn how to throw together a meal for our man. When did we start acting like feeding the man we love is a chore? The way to his heart is still partially through his stomach. And no, Uber Eats does not count. He's out there busting his ass all day long, and we're really gonna let him come home and make his own dinner or pack his own sad little lunch like he's in middle school. Come on, that's not love. That's laziness. We are losing something sacred when we stop showing up as wives in the little ways. It's not about being, it's about being intentional. You say you're a rider, then make the man some food and pack his lunch.
That teacher needs to have her hard drive checked, and none of you are talking about it. Everyone's stuck on, oh, she's inappropriate, her clothing is inappropriate. Yeah, no, it's inappropriate. Why would you wear a bodycon dress going to school teaching 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds unless you want to stand in the front of the classroom getting your validation off of 15-year-old boys? You know who seeks validation through children? There's a word for it. It starts with a P. Y'all are too quick to let women slide, and this is how our boys end up getting preyed on. Have you noticed that if you ask 99% of boys how they lost their virginity, they'll tell you a story that really just says, I was a victim of like a much older woman when I was still a baby? Because I don't give a what anybody says. 13, 14, 15, I'm a full grown woman. That is a baby to me. But then again, I'm not a to people like Miss Teacher Bay. That seems to be her preferred dating age. I didn't get a BBL. Ma'am, you got a BBL. We need to stop defending and excusing obvious behavior just because the person behind the behavior is a woman. Protect our little boys. Thank you.
You men are hilarious.
I have been trying to read all the comments from my video that's going viral where I explain to women why you guys pull back so often when you initially liked a girl, right? And I explain the whole lack of reciprocity thing. And while most of the men are just really excited, like, yes, there's a woman advocating for us, she gets it, protect her at all costs, there are a whole lot of men who are like, this is common sense. What are we doing here? Why does somebody have to explain this? This should be common sense. Now, here's the thing. Women are not confused about this in the way that you think. It's more so they naturally have the desire to do what you want, but they have been miseducated on how to go about doing it. So their fear is that they're going to come across as really thirsty. They're going to come across as too strong, and that's going to turn you off. That's what's so ironic, is that the women are not coming across strong enough and the men are not sure that they're supposed to pursue. Here's the thing. If you grew up watching stuff in the 90s, men were so aggressive. Men were very demonstrative. The girl could straight up say no, and he's still going to pursue, right? Look at a lot of the sitcoms that people laugh about. But in recent day and age, with all the stuff that has happened, there are different movements that have happened, people filming in the gym, talking about, oh my God, he's a creep. Men are taking an abundance of caution, and they are not playing with us, ladies, okay? They need it to be so crystal clear that you want them to give attention, that you are interested in the pursuit. It's not enough that you just answer the phone. It's not enough that you just text back. It's not enough that you accept the date. Heck, a lot of women will accept dates just because they're bored or, they want a free meal. So if you genuinely like a guy, he needs to know that you are feeling him. And men, this is why. It's not because they're egotistical. It's actually the complete opposite. They are so into you and they don't want to make a bad impression. Okay, so give the ladies some slack. Those of you who are kind of mean in the comments, which fortunately there weren't too many, chill out. Okay, stop assuming the worst of women. I have so many women who are so into the guys. You do not see them on the calls crying, really devastated, worrying that they might have done something to scare the guy off. So many women in 2026 just have all this love to give, and they just don't know how to navigate, okay? So they are terrified. They are so hard on themselves. They don't know if they're doing too much or too little. And so keep working with me. This is why I have a private men's page, and you guys keep giving me all the details, and then I translate to girl, and then the women can understand, okay? So if you want to continue to bridge the gap between men and women, follow my page. I'll see you guys in the next video.
You know what's funny is that a lot of these modern women are giving dating advice, but their dating lives are a disaster, to be honest. They're a disaster. These modern women, their dating life is not good. It's not good. You don't want to be around these women. These women, they keep on going on first dates and they don't get anything else out after it. I'm looking for a companion. Women going on 50 first dates. Women going on a date for every month, for every day, I think is what I heard at one point in time. Every day of every month is crazy work. Is crazy work. Just out here. Well, I'm doing it for research purposes. No, you're doing it as some sort of weird challenge. And modern women will get to the end of that challenge and be and found nobody. And this is why body count matters. Because that's reckless behavior. And I'm not saying that you're sleeping with any of these guys. I'm just saying this is the type of mindset that men are looking for when they ask you what your body count is. Because you'll go out there and just do it for the plot. I'll go out here and mess with this man for the plot. I'll go out here and be with this guy or do this for the plot. I'll go out here and be out all times of day and night for the plot. I don't like that plot. I don't like that storyline. I don't like where that's going. Pass.
A 21-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man, who has the highest marketplace value?
The woman.
25-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman, who has a higher marketplace value?
The woman again.
A 30-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man, who has a higher marketplace value?
The man.
The 35-year-old man and a 35-year-old woman, who has a higher marketplace value?
The man.
And as I keep going in 5-year increments, will women ever overtake a man's marketplace value?
Not in the long term, no.
No. Will it grow at a steady rate or will it get exponentially larger? Meaning a 50-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman, will they have the same difference between them as a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman? Or will it be greater?
It'd be greater.
Thank you. So by math, you've just said women have roughly a 10-year period before their value dips below men. So it doesn't matter if men aren't ready. Women got 10 years.
Okay, that's actually one of the points I agree with you.
But that's at the basis of all my arguments.
Let's talk about making your man lunch for work. And no, this is not about, well, I work too. Why doesn't he make me lunch? Girl, pause. Wrong video. We are not talking about keeping score. We're talking about keeping connection. I pack his lunch because I like knowing he's out there with a little reminder of me. And when he opens it and sees his favorite snack or a note that says, can't wait for later, trust me, the man's not just thinking about food anymore. It's not about old school gender roles either. It's about making each other feel wanted, even when apart. And let me tell you, small things such as this, they build the kind of intimacy that lasts. So ladies, don't let the fairness police get in your head and ruin the vibe. Sometimes it's about setting the mood before he even walks through the door. And sometimes it's just about having a little fun, making sure you are the best part of his break.
Why I will no longer be entertaining the male human species.
You get a whole book.
Never keeping promises. 2, never meaning what they say. 3, only being nice to people because they want something. 4, only being nice to women they find attractive. 5, not taking no for an answer. 6, bringing up immediately. 7, pressuring for on the first date. 8, lack of effort. 9, asking me to come over as the first date. 10, poor hygiene. 11, lack of emotional intelligence. 12, lack of financial intelligence. 13, extremely self-centered. 14, extremely misogynistic. 15, going weeks on end with no contact.
Majority of the things that she's talking about, women do them too. They do them more, if I'm being honest. They treat men like garbage. They don't want to talk to guys they don't find attractive. They only want them for their money. They ignore them all the time. Like all these things. They don't have emotional intelligence. Like what the? You're naming stuff that women do all the times too. So men should also not deal with the female species. Plus, why are you on here telling us that? Let alone write a whole page of why you don't want to deal with them. If you don't like them, then just don't deal with them. You don't need to tell us why you're not dealing with them because we don't give a fuck. And as I said before, women are the same way. So there's no reason for you to be on here telling us about how terrible men are when y'all yourselves are terrible.
The marriage that you and your spouse both want in 10 years starts with how you treat each other today. Not on the wedding, not on anniversaries, not on vacations or date nights. Today, in the normal, boring, everyday moments. It's built in how you both talk to each other when you are stressed. It's built in how you treat each other when you are tired. It's built in whether you say thank you or I love you, whether you reach for their hand, whether you choose to be kind even when you are annoyed. People think marriages fall apart because of one big thing. But most marriages don't fall apart all at once. They fall apart slowly when two people start to feel alone in the same house. Strong marriages are not built in big moments. They are built in the way you speak to each other on normal days. In the way you always show up, no matter what. In the way you keep choosing each other over and over again. So if you want a strong marriage later, be a good spouse today.
Women are not emotionally intelligent, and when a woman says that she wants emotional intelligence from a man, what she really means is that she wants a man to be able to change his behavior to make sure that she isn't the one being out of control with her emotions because she's not able to control them herself. It means that the men in their lives have to behave a certain way to essentially make her behave correctly because she doesn't know how to control her own self and her own emotions, and she's not emotionally aware of things that are going on around her. Most women that scream emotional intelligence don't even know what it means. It means being in control of your emotions and using logic around situations and adapting to different environments, which women cannot do, myself included. When a woman says that she wants a man to be emotionally intelligent, it means that he has to just know everything that she's feeling 24/7, 7 days a week. And it gives her the ability to deflect accountability and shift blame as to why he doesn't just know. Women think that just because they're emotional, it means that they're emotionally intelligent. But the reality is that women use their emotions as an excuse for poor behavior, or they use their emotions to shift blame to the men in their lives for not being emotionally intelligent. When really, men are more emotionally intelligent than women, and women don't want to accept that or believe that, so it's easier to just blame men instead. Okay, bye.
Guys, you need to pay close attention to her job history. Her job history is her dating history. In particular, you need to ask yourself how she ends her relationships. If you are dealing with a woman who is conflict avoidant, run. Zero ability to handle stress, conflict, disagreement. In other words, the only time they are of any good is when everything is okay. Gentlemen, do yourself a favor. By nature, as men, we're fixers. We like to fix things and figure out, no. You will be led to believe that it was because her ex was deficient in some category or because of whatever. It's her. These women are college educated. They are professionals. They're all 28 and above. Why? Because they are thoroughly into their careers. One thing that you can know about these women is they have an actual career. And what I mean by a career, she proudly tells you about her career. She is her job. Kudos to you, ma'am, if you are your job. But the men inevitably are not trying to find women who are their job.
Because they're Trump supporters. They're going on Facebook because they're Trump supporters. Did Trump just not start a war yesterday? He's a service establishment. Right? Discrimination. You know how to get this going on right now? Discrimination. Yeah, you came over here like.
Is that your business place? Do you own that place? You don't get to refuse service from somebody simply because you don't like who the they're supporting.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for everyone that's been supporting me. Guys, we need to stand up. It's a matter of good versus evil. It doesn't matter red versus none of that. It's good versus evil. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for something, baby. Do something. Okay?
So because you couldn't mind your business and you so-called stood up for what you believe in, you lost your job. And now you're on the internet begging people to send you money. The same people who mind their business and keep their job, they're supposed to now work their money and send it to you. Somebody who just couldn't mind their business. Somebody who thinks that because they don't like Trump and you do, they're not gonna serve you. And then because people are on the internet talking about it and talking about how her behavior is, she's making videos talking about, well, these are the people that are bullying a minor. But you weren't a minor when you were choosing to refuse service from somebody simply because they want to support who they want to support.
What kind of wife do you want to be? You want to be a stay-at-home wife?
I want to stay at home when my kids are younger, but when they turn 5, I want to go back into the real world.
What do you mean go back into the real world? Go work?
I want to have a career once my kids get a little older. So I want to do something. Right now, I'm working at a financial company, but eventually I want to have my own business, do my own thing.
Based on what I'm hearing, you're going to have a real hard time. You come from a sugar baby lifestyle where you're in control of your own moves. You have a grad degree. It already works against you. And let's be real, you don't want a broke man. You want a man with significant 6 figures. But yet you still want to be able to go out, and after your kids get school age, you want to go be back out. You have a plan you want a man to sit in. You want a wife. You're not trying to be a wife. That ain't gonna work. And you're 27? And you have this background in risky pictures? No, ma'am. You want the benefits of being a traditional feminine woman in a new masculine role. You want a wife. Why do you want your children, once they're school age, for you to go back and start a career? Why do you want to do that? If you already got a husband that can take care of everything, why do you want to do that?
Well, it depends. If I have a husband who can really, really take care of me and the kids, and I don't need to work.
Why would you marry a man who can't do that and give him kids?
No, I said if I find a man who can do that, I will not need to go back to work, but I don't want to give up everything, all my power.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Thank you. You want a fool.
No, I just want things on my term.
That's right. You want things on your term. And guess what? If you could have things on your term, you would have had it already.
There was a woman, I think on the Alex Clark show, and she was kind of talking about men not performing as well on college campuses. And so the men that do, when they perform well, they have their pick of the litter. This is kind of the issue, right? Where, and one of the comments on there was essentially saying, basically, you have men that are being held to a higher standard, right? Higher level of responsibility. And the low performing men are mad about this. And the high performing men really don't care because they're getting all of the that they want. And I would look at a comment like that and say that maybe you don't understand and maybe you're misguided, because what's going to happen is we're going to deem, and what is happening right now is we're deeming these men as low performing. But then after we get pumped and dumped and used up by the high performing man, and that man goes on to do whatever he wants to do, he writes a book about all of his exploits and all of the women that he's conquered, and all of the women that he's conquered and left in the way are mad about it because he didn't settle down. I'm tired of the patriarchy and this and this. Now they're going to want to come back around and double back around and spin the block again, and hey, let's check on the low performing man. Let's see how he's doing. And then 5 or 10 years later, that low performing man is actually doing pretty great. And so now, after you've been ran through by the high performing man, now you want to go back to the low performing man. It's funny how that works.